Hello everyone, this is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting video. In this video, I am going to be making a part 2 to my video called Questions I Have Before Going to See Eternals. I've finally seen Eternals, and now that I've seen the movie, I'm going to go back over all the questions I had and answer those questions based on the information that I got from the film. Spoilers ahead, if you have not seen Eternals, I highly recommend that you do so. So, my first question that I had before seeing the movie was, what are the limits of Cerseis' powers? So, Sersi apparently can turn anything into anything, even without being connected to the Uni-Mind. Sersi simply never knew that her powers could also affect sentient creatures. Even after Sersi learns that she can affect sentient creatures and transmute their matter, she seems to still not believe that this is possible outside of the Uni-Mind, even though we see her in the film turn a deviant into a tree without having the combined powers of her fellow Eternals. So, what are the upper limits of Cerseis' powers? As far as we know, it seems like she can transmute non-sentient and sentient matter with her abilities, but maybe due to her own disbelief in her ability to transmute sentient creatures, it seems like she can only do it on purpose via the Uni-Mind. Because I will say she kind of did it on accident when she turned that deviant into a tree that one time. So the second question I had was, do Icarus's actions make sense in the film? I now understand that Icarus lets the deviants run amok because he thinks that the deviants will distract the Eternals long enough to prevent them from stopping the emergence. I also understand that Ajax told Icarus about the emergence centuries ago, which explains how he already knew about what the emergence actually was. Icarus knew that there were deviants around because he was investigating an attack on an oil drill and discovered a cave full of deviants. And Icarus didn't immediately kill the deviants he discovered because he suspected that Ajax was going to betray Erisham, and he wanted to use the deviants to kill Ajax and distract the Eternals to allow the emergence to run its course. The third question I had was, do Sprite's actions make sense in the film? Sprite understandably has the desire to grow up, but she doesn't really seem to know of a good way to fulfill her desire. I don't know what Sprite's end goal was. If Earth was destroyed, Sprite would have lost her memories and still been in a child's body. Icarus was devoted to Sersi and was never going to get with Sprite, even if Sprite chose to be by his side during the final fight. I think Sprite was just jealous of Sersi and the fact that Sersi was in the body of a grown woman and could be with Icarus, and that truly she just wanted to get revenge on Sersi, which is why she joined up with Icarus during the final battle. So if you take it as a just revenge ploy, then sure, Sprite's actions do make sense. They don't actually help her become an adult, but they do help her exact her vengeance. My fourth question was, do the Eternals have infinite power? So the question is really, does each individual Eternal have infinite power? And within the film, they do state that each Eternal does possess infinite energy. Phastos revealed that all of the Eternals do possess infinite energy, and that was granted to them by the Celestials. This is absolutely crazy. Not only does this mean that the Celestials are able to create multiple infinite energy beings, but also that through the Uni-Mind that the Eternals can combine multiple sets of infinity together into an even greater power, and this helps to show just how powerful the Eternals are, the fact that each one possesses infinite energy. I feel like this is going to definitely change the way that we power scale the Eternals and how we compare them to other characters, not only within the MCU, but within other fictional universes that the characters will definitely be compared to, especially Icarus and Superman. There's a lot of debate about Icarus versus Superman right now. Next up, I had the question, who is my favorite Eternal? After watching the film, I have to say, I love Druig's outspoken personality, cool and sleek fashion sense, and surprisingly skillful fighting ability. Druig is one of my favorite Eternals, and one of the most powerful Eternals on the team. He claims that he could control the entire human race, and every time we see him use mind control on a massive scale, he seems to have little to no strain. I would say it's effortless the way that he is able to manipulate and puppet large numbers of people on a whim, even able to just stop massive battles or wars if he wanted to, just because he wants to. Druig also not only can command a bunch of people to do whatever he wants, he's able to use them to fight off deviants, as we see in the movie where he gets a bunch of people to weaponize themselves and fire upon a deviant. But also he seems to be fairly acrobatic himself and be skilled with a shotgun. So Druig is incredibly impressive. I think the only weird things about Druig is I don't believe we ever get to see him attempt to control a deviant's mind or a fellow Eternal's mind. We do get to see him try and put Arishem to sleep, which makes me think if he's able to put Arishem to sleep, why couldn't he, put Icarus to sleep or something? With all that being said, I do think Druig is my favorite Eternal. My next question is, who is my least favorite Eternal? After watching the film, I would have to say that Sprite is jealous and vengeful. I am not a big fan of how Sprite chooses to behave and deal with her problems, and because of this, I'll have to say that Sprite is probably my least favorite Eternal. My next question is, what was my favorite scene of the movie? So after watching the film, I would say the fight in Druig's village was awesome and really showed everyone's fighting prowess while pushing our heroes to their limits. There are a lot of standout moments in that fight. I know a lot of people will probably be debating about which fight in the film was the best, but I do think the battle in Druig's village was pretty top-notch and quite suspenseful. And my final question, who would I recommend this movie to? I do stand by what I said in my previous video about how fans of mythological stories, people who want to see a superhero film told from more of a mythological perspective, they should definitely check out this movie for sure. But I honestly do want to recommend this film to everyone. I really think that people might be avoiding this movie because of the weird press about the film, as well as the Rotten Tomatoes score and the cinema score that have been released for the film. But I think this film has been quite divisive, and I really do want to see, how does the majority feel? So please, everyone go to see this movie. Everyone let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And thank you for watching this video. This is your friend, your boy, Jet Black the One Only, logging out. Peace, guys. Chicken about.